I'm going to show you the exact method that I use to stop cravings in 90 seconds, even when stress, anger, and overwhelm are at their worst. I've used this reset method to stay sober for the past 5 years, and it works every time, even when you've tried other things and they have failed. It takes a few minutes to learn, but you can use it tonight when the urge hits. Let me break it down exactly how it works. Hi, this is Alex, the Sober Dad. Thanks for watching. I'm here to help you to reclaim your life so you can become the man, the husband, the father that you know you want to be. Most men struggle to quit drinking because they rely solely on willpower. And willpower runs out at about 6 p.m. on a brutal day. That's what I've created, the reset method. It provides you 3 psychological and physiological tools that can break the craving cycle in 3 steps. Calm your body, understand your mind, redirect your energy. No willpower required. The first tool is a breathing technique that I call the 4-7-8 reset. And this is your emergency brake for stress. When you're stressed, your body is in fight or flight mode, and you start breathing very shallow. And this sends a signal to your brain that you're in danger. This makes the drinking craving urgent and unstoppable. The 4-7-8 breathing technique flips the switch from fight or flight to rest and digest in under 90 seconds. Here's what you do. Inhale through your nose 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. And release for 8 seconds. And repeat 3 times minimum. Let's do it together. 4 times in. Hold. Release. This is sending a powerful message to your brain to start relaxing. That long exhale activates your vagus nerve, which is our biological switch for stress. You're literally telling your nervous system, we're safe, there's no emergency. The craving might not disappear, but it reduces its intensity by 60 to 70%. Use this the second you feel a craving. Use this technique after work, before you enter your house, or when you're gonna have a difficult conversation. Do it whether you're stressed or not. It's preemptive medicine, and it creates a habit. And the more you do it, the easier and more natural it becomes. Tool number 2 is the emotion labeling technique. This is where you sap the energy from the strong emotion by naming it. UCLA research shows by simply naming an emotion, it reduces its intensity by 50%. It sends the message to your brain that you know what's going on. See, most of us guys try to suppress these very strong emotions or distract ourselves, which actually has the opposite effect by making the craving stronger. By naming it, by identifying it, you lessen its intensity. Here's what you do. Stop for a moment and ask yourself, how am I feeling? And don't just say, oh, I'm feeling bad. Be specific. I feel overwhelmed by competing deadlines. I feel angry that my work was not recognized. I feel anxious about my financial future, or I feel lonely even though I'm surrounded by people. Give yourself permission to say it out loud. I feel frustrated because this project keeps changing. Let me give you an example. Last week, I was working on one of these videos, and I started feeling a little jittery, and my hands started sweating, and I had to stop myself and say, what's going on? It was not just stress, but it was actually anxiety, which is my default mode when I feel like I'm falling behind. I go into this anxious mode because I feel like I'm not doing enough and I'm not going to be able to finish my projects ever, and I start catastrophizing. And this is something I do and I've been working on for the last few years. So I recognized that I was entering this mode and I was starting to feel this way. And the moment I stopped and named it and recognized it, I felt its intensity going down. In the past, I would have drank and just alcohol in order to numb some of the effects of these anxious feelings that I had. So if you're like me and you use alcohol as a tool to take the edge of strong feelings, try this. Try naming them, recognizing them, bringing them to the surface so they don't fester in the dark. At least you can recognize for what they are, strong feelings. And it doesn't mean that you have to do anything about them at that moment. When you name your emotions, you move them from the primitive brain to the part of the brain that can think and use logic and reason, your prefrontal cortex. You're no longer drowning on the feeling, you are observing it. And when you observe it, you can control it. And if you want to level up this technique, text your emotion to somebody you can trust. You can say something like, hey, I'm having a tough day and I feel overwhelmed with work stuff. I don't need any advice. I just want to share with you. You don't need a response. Just sharing and naming it to another human being breaks the isolation cycle that sometimes fuels drinking. Tool number 3 is the 2-minute energy shift. The 2-minute energy shift is your pattern interrupt. Here's the truth. You cannot numb what's moving. When you move your body, you literally change your biochemistry. Exercise releases endorphins, reduces cortisol, and increases your energy levels. And here's the key. You don't need a full workout. You only need 2 minutes of intentional movement that matches your energy level. Here's what you do. If you have high energy or are agitated, like when I feel anxious, go for a brisk jog or go up and down a flight of stairs. Do 20 push-ups or a set of burpees. Shadow box for 60 seconds and release that energy. If you are depleted or low energy, do some stretching on your desk, or walk back and forth to the mailbox. Do some yoga sun salutations or take a hot shower. Movement disrupts the mental loop. When you're having a craving, you're stuck in this pattern where your mind says, I need relief, and relief means drinking. Movement interrupts that loop and gives your mind something else to focus on. Plus, after 2 minutes of movement, you're literally not the same person. Your breathing pattern has changed. Your blood is flowing and your hormone levels have shifted. A few minutes, it's all you need. So how about implementing this non-negotiable rule? Move your body before you numb your mind. Make this a non-negotiable. The second you feel the urge, move first. And even if you still feel like drinking afterwards, you have proven to your brain that you can take action and do something instead of just reacting. And by doing this over and over again, you're training your mind to expect something else other than a drink. Quick question, what is your biggest challenge when an urge to drink hits? Is it a physical sensation, a mental spiral, or something else? Let me know. I like to hear what you have to say and I read all the comments. This sober reset method works and I've used it hundreds of times in the past 5 years. I use them to get these cravings under control before they control me. And here's what I've learned. You don't always need to use each of these techniques. Sometimes the breathing 4, 7, 8 is enough. Sometimes you need to stack them. Breathing, then name them, then move. But the moment you use even one of these techniques, you're rewiring your brain to do something else instead of drinking. You're proving yourself that you can handle strong emotions without alcohol. Here's how to use this right now. Pick the tool that most resonate with you. If you're the type of person who's always in his head, then try the 4-7-8 breathing technique. If you're somebody who struggles with even understanding what you're feeling, practice naming the emotion. And if you have restless energy, try the moving technique. So tonight, when the stress hits, commit to deploying at least one of these techniques before you drink. Just one. Set a timer for 90 seconds and do it, and see what happens. And I'm not saying that the craving will completely vanish, but it will lose enough of its energy so you can make a different choice. In the first few weeks of you using these methods, you're not looking for perfection. You're gathering data. You're trying to figure out which method works best for you under what circumstances. Maybe breathe works well at work, but move works better at home. Maybe naming the emotion is what works in the morning, but connect is what works at night. And I will tell you about connect in a moment. The goal is pattern recognition, not perfection. If you're watching this and you're thinking, wow, maybe one of these tools could actually help me to not drink tonight, you're right. But here's the thing. The 3 tools I share with you are only 3 of the 5 tools in the complete sober reset method. And the 2 that I did not cover might be the ones that work best for you. So I've created this guide that I call the reset method. 5 tools to stop stress, anger, and overwhelm. The complete method walks you through each tool step by step. Every tool in this method has been tested by men like you who also felt trapped in their strong emotions and with strong urges to drink. And you know what? You can grab the Sober Reset method for free, clicking in the description below. Download it, read through it, and choose one of the 5 tools that you can use tonight when the stress and the urge hits. And don't try to master all at once. Just pick one and practice it. These are the exact tools I use to stay sober every day without relying on willpower, and it's now yours. Look, you're not broken. You're not weak. You're just a man living in a stressful world that hasn't taught you good coping techniques. Every time you use one of these tools instead of drinking, you're getting closer and closer to behaving and becoming the man that you really want to be. And if you want to know what true confidence looks like without drinking alcohol, check out this video right here that will tell you all about it.